And there's nothing worse than having a physically handicapped person like, please help. You have to do it.
Oh, damn, I can't say
You have to jerk them off.
I'm rolling.
Oh.
Test your mic.
Test. Check.
Test.
Hello. Help me.
Help me.
Help me.
Help me. You know, it's like when someone's physically disabled like that, and then they discover jerking off, but if they never knew about it, it's like, you know, those viral videos of when babies can't see and they put glasses on them for the first time, and they're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I didn't know I could do that. I think like, when you started jerking off, did you know the mechanism of jerking off, or did you just find out that like doing one thing made your dick feel all right? Or did you already know? Or did you already know?
I genuinely think it's tough to remember. It was a very long time ago, but like I do think I just like instinctively just like started touching my dick.
Yeah,
like,
but did you?
I came. Oh my God, this thing.
I met a guy once who, when we were in like middle school and we were talking about jerking off, we knew like the jerk off motion.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, oh, that's fucking stupid. But we didn't know
what it meant.
That's what it meant. And I talked to a buddy of mine who started jerking off. What he would do is he would push his erect penis all the way down and push down like he was planing wood. All the way down. All the way down. And when I found out that's what he was doing, and I was doing it a different way, all of us were like, have we been doing it wrong? Like, you don't know what's going on. And then when I was like, no, dude, you just kind of like jerk it off. He's like, no. He's like, no, dude, this is how you jerk off is you bend it all the way to a point where you think it's going to like go between your legs. And I'm like, dude, I don't know if that's exactly how it fucking works.
I don't think you're doing it right, man. It's like, we gotta have a talk.
And it was one of those things where you hear somebody say that, but again, you're like in 6th grade, and you're like, maybe I've been doing it.
Yeah, for sure. You
wrong
have no frame of reference
my whole life, and then you see a porn, and you are watching a guy do it. I'm like, I've never seen a dude. If I ever watched a porn and I saw one guy doing it that way, then I would be like, he's on to something. He's clearly ahead of the curve. He knows exactly what he's doing.
This guy knows.
He doesn't do amateur shit. He's all pro.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I don't even really. I feel like I can't recall knowing the jerk off motion and knowing what jerk off is until once I started jerking off. Then like, oh, it's like when you buy a car and then all of a sudden you just keep seeing that car everywhere you go. Now jerking off is just everywhere.
You're jerking off and you're like, oh my God. God damn, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's like, I didn't know you guys were into that.
Yeah, everyone else is doing this too.
Dude, that's very true. And it's crazy because like you hear about like one dude. I remember when I was in elementary school in 5th grade, the kid was talking about jerking off. And like, you want to be cool. So you're like, yeah, dude, I jerk off all the time. Dude, I jerked off right before I got here. And you don't know what that is. Someone once told me that jerking off, again, kids are fucking retarded. Someone told me that if you jerking off is just pulling your balls. And when I was in 5th grade, I thought that's how you jerked off. And for almost a year, even though like I'm getting a boner, I'm like, I'm gonna get there. I'm like pulling my balls as hard as I can.
You're just yanking on your balls,
dude.
Like you're trying to start a lawnmower.
Exactly, dude. I was just pulling. No, pull hard, not many times, just once.
Choke it.
I thought I was flooding it. I thought I was flooding my fucking dick. This is the End Podcast with Ryan Shader. I am joined by the one and only Peter Angelo. Thank you so much for being on the fucking show.
Thank you for having me.
Dude, where can people find you if they don't know where you're at?
Follow me on Instagram at Metal Pete Comedy. That's where I post most of my clips, dates, reels, and other dumb things I say.
Yeah. And they're amazing dumb things.
Dang, I try to like
you do a great job.
Try to keep them dumb, but like amazing.
You know what? You don't make me feel smarter, but you don't make me feel stupid either.
Perfect.
That's what I'm going for. You know what you are? You're the guy who's pushing down on his dick, and I'm the guy who's pulling my nutsack. So I'm like, we're right there, dude. We'll come. That's
the new spectrum.
That's exactly. So wait a minute. So you went to a haunted house today?
Last night. I was given mushrooms by a vendor at the festival.
I watched that happen, and it was really,
went on
really
stage,
great.
Had the mushrooms hit the minute I got on stage.
Yeah, dude, you did a great job. Though.
Thank you.
You didn't do terrible.
No.
I honestly thought as soon as you came out and you mentioned that it looked like God's butthole on the screen, I was like, he's gone. I was like, this is going to be the worst set in the world. But you managed to keep it. You did it. You did it.
I was just honestly having trouble like focusing my thoughts.
I got to be difficult to do.
Yeah, I was. My brain was in overdrive.
So you did the show, then you went to the haunted house.
No, haunted house.
How was the haunted house? Wait, first of all, how was the haunted? Let's just try to separate the mushroom part.
All right.
How was the haunted house? From a sober person's perspective, how would you rate it out of 10? Or out of spooky? Out of spooky? Out of spooky.
Cute jack-o'-lantern. Here, look, I'm a bad haunted house. We get it.
You're gay, dude. Cute jack-o'-lantern.
That's not spooky.
It's not.
That's my point.
I know.
But again, I was a bad like haunted house customer.
Oh,
because I couldn't stop laughing.
So nothing was hitting you where they needed it to be.
No, but I think that was fine because everyone else I was with was getting terrified. But I just couldn't stop laughing.
What would you say was the funniest part then? If it's not scary to you, what was the funniest part? That should have clearly been the most terrifying part.
I think just people like the jump scares.
Oh yeah.
They're just like
pops.
jumping out from around corners. But also, it's like everyone there was really small who worked there.
Small how?
Like they're just tiny people. They were like small children and girls and little twink dudes. Yeah, everyone was like,
right.
I was like,
I see where the jack-o'-lantern comes in. I see where the cute jack-o'-lantern comes in.
I mean, I was the scariest thing in there.
All right, yeah. It is crazy. Have you ever gone to a haunted house where you can tell someone's trying so hard to be creepy and they're really just fucking it up, and then it's like,
yes. But the people in character here,
yeah,
they did a good job. They genuinely did a good job.
Yeah.
They stayed. They were good. I just was having too much fun.
You were in outer space.
I was just having a good time. Also, it was literally like 4 storage containers in a parking lot that was like then hollowed out and made to look like a hotel. I give them credit. The end of one of them had like this huge creature they had like suspended that came at you.
Sick.
And it looked awesome. And again,
you just started laughing in the dude, someone put so much time and effort into that. And then here comes you like, oh, okay.
I at least thought it was cool.
Yeah,
I didn't want to leave. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, I can appreciate it. Did you at least do like, good job?
Yeah,
good job.
Good job.
I appreciate it.
I was happy for them.
Oh, that's good.
I know they did great. Again, there was no one there. It was I couldn't believe that they had all these like all very young people just like sitting in this haunted house as the scare actors and just like must have been sweating their asses off and just yelling. And there's so much things just screaming and loud noises.
I think that's like the 4K thing. Like smells can be scary. You ever had a horrifying smell?
Yeah.
You're laughing because you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's I
farted.
Like fucking smells can be terrifying. And there was one. So out where I'm from, there was this thing called Jason's Woods, which was like the most popular haunted hayride and shit. And they actually had a rotting cow at one part of it. And like you thought it was like
that was
an animatronic or something. But then as the hay ride goes by, you're like, what the fuck is that? And it's just like, then people are jumping out and scaring you.
Yeah.
And really, I think the whole point was to make you scream so then you threw up.
Yeah, you're already kind of nauseous and you're like
the best. Like, and then you just throw up all over the place. I think puking out of fear is like, that's the ultimate reaction you could possibly
Also, to be fair, I made a guy pass out at Skankfest.
Oh, that's right, you did. You want to go over that amazing story?
Sure. So during the Naked Roast, good friend Zach Amico, who runs it, judges it, hosts it, all that stuff, he's a lover of deathmatch wrestling and likes to have first the crowd staple money to him.
It's always good.
And then the second thing, and he ran this by me earlier in the day. He's like, Pete, do you want to skewer my head? Which, if you don't know, it's like a deathmatch wrestling thing where you take a bundle of like little wooden skewers, you put them into someone's forehead, and you just punch them into that person's head, and they stick there. And I did that, and a guy was so freaked out, he passed out and was taken out by medics.
Now, you were telling me when you did it, Zach wanted you to go straight into his forehead.
Yeah.
And you and I both know that that's probably not always the best way to go.
I think maybe that was the best way to do it, so there wasn't a ton getting stuck in.
But I think
also I didn't want to fucking do it any other way. I didn't want to stick the whole like. I've never done it before. I'm just gonna do it exactly as Zach tells me.
You know what? And that's the thing too. Like that's like got to be scary because you want it to be well. You want it to be done right. But like it's like once you figure out the motion, then it's like it's like pushing down on your penis. It's like pushing down on your penis, and then you find out that's the motion. And it's like I've seen people do it, and I've also seen people do it like very wrong. Yeah. And you can tell when like, I mean, I don't know how much prep goes into like a death match. I don't know exactly what people are like. Yo, when you get me, make sure you slam the skewers like this way or that way. But I've seen death matches where you can tell that it's the first person's time doing it, and it's either like they're not selling it or they're going so ham where I've watched a skewer go through the top of some guy's eye before, and again, I'll give it to the wrestler, true showman. Oh my god, just kind of played it off like there was no problem.
That was also I was like so nervous about it because like one, I'm getting ready to do it. And I'm like, please let these stick because it'll look. Yeah. If I smack them, they all just fall. Yeah, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm gonna punch this into my friend's head. And how hard should I do this?
Yeah, it's one of those things where like
it's like I don't want to hit my friend, but he wants me to do this.
I feel like of the 3 stunts he did, that was the least faint-inducing.
You would think.
You would think. I mean, all
right, I was shirtless. Maybe someone they were grossed out.
But I think, a rat trap on your penis would be very. I don't think I'd want to see that, even though I've seen it. It doesn't. It's like one of those things where every time I see him do it, it's like, when you know that Evel Knievel's going to jump a bunch of cars, you're like, oh no, I don't want him to do that, but I know it'll be amazing.
I think the staplers don't get people like maybe as bad as the skewers because you can't really see it happening.
Yeah.
Like you can't just like click and it's obviously like, oh god, it's a staple. Yeah. But then it's like another human being is smashing things into this guy's head.
Into your head. And it's like, I've watched also some death matches where now they use weed whackers now. Yeah,
JJ Escobar all the time.
And it's like, I constantly wonder, because like, I remember when I was a kid, death matches were just exploding, barbed wire and stuff like that, which is awesome. I'm not knocking that at all. Yeah. But it's like, it gets to a point where I do wonder where it can only go
more insane.
That's where I'm at.
I saw the same guy uses the weed whacker a lot at an XPW show. His opponent took a nail gun and nailed him into the mat and then hit him with an elbow drop.
So when he nailed him,
he nailed the side of his arm by like his tricep.
Oh, Jesus. That's fucking awesome.
Oh, and the guy who hit the elbow drop, got to the top of the turnbuckle and then set his elbow on fire.
That's amazing. Like, that's what I'm talking.
That guy's name is Dirty Ron McDonald.
What a dirtbag.
I watched him cross the street in front of a cop, and the cop, I'd never seen a cop look more confused.
I mean, at that point in time, I don't think police, even if that was a real fight, even if that was like a real, like some two guys going at it, I don't think a cop would ever stop for a flaming elbow.
No.
I don't think if a cop was like, I'll just get to let you guys figure it out.
The best is for some reason the fire department did show up and they like walked in, they saw what was going on, was like, what the fuck is this?
I guarantee they just walked away.
Yeah. Well, two of them just like really looked like they wanted to stay.
I mean, you can't see deathmatch wrestling like that and not be kind of intrigued about what's going to happen next. It's like one of those things, like if I saw somebody carrying around a trash can full of light tubes, I'm going to follow that guy for at least a block just to see, like, where is this guy going?
How far is he carrying
It's either he's replacing an entire warehouse or he's going to body slam someone into that.
Oh, fuck. Once he was done, too, and he got himself unnailed to the mat. It was still in his elbow, and still in his arm, and he couldn't pull it out. So a dude in the audience pulled it out with his teeth.
Dude. And that right
Wrestling
there,
fans are ridiculous.
And that right there is community. And that's exactly what that is. Yep. I think the one thing I often push, and I don't know if it's ever going to happen in the ring, but I do think it would be wild to see two dudes. I wanted to push a coffee enema match.
There are young people who would do that.
So basically, it's two dudes. They have like IV bags.
Yep.
And they're with the cart thing, and there's coffee and espresso in the bag, and they have a tube up their butt the whole time they try and wrestle. Thank you.
I mean, like same pin, like same pinfall submission, or is there a stipulation of how you win? You got to remove it from the guy.
I think if you yank it out, then you can win. But like, I think just seeing two dudes completely jacked up on espresso, trying to do any type of maneuver, or just doing the coffee enema and then being in the ring, and then you have just like balls to the wall debauchery,
just losing their fucking. Then they're gonna add like another stipulation, and they both have catheters in.
Dude, catheter match would be amazing. Just yanking out a cat. That's where we're going, dude.
Now that would be a death match.
Catheter match. It would be an like
Get
if
me
you
on the
go
phone with CZW.
Wild ass like Pol Pot torture match where you put like a fucking rod full of mercury in someone's urethra and smash it with a hammer. Now that is something that, again, we're like this close to that happening. Though. I don't see that. Not the progression is going to be out of control.
I mean, it just gets turned into like when we downloaded Faces of Death on LimeWire.
Dude,
just becomes that.
I guarantee in 3 years we're going to have a Nicholas Berg match where somebody is having their head sawed off. And it's going to be to a point where there's nothing we can do to control it because one guy, all it takes is one dude or one lady. Ladies are getting nuts now, too, with the death matches. Yeah. I saw the one clip you posted of the chick getting kicked through the window in the car.
Yeah, she won Tournament of Death.
And that's, again, when I hear women bitching about equality, I want to show them that. I'm like, are you willing to do this? You want the right to vote? Are you willing to have this happen?
She was put in the driver's seat. Her opponent ran, kicked through the window into her face. And then proceeded to get the entire crowd to flip the car over while she was inside of it.
While she was inside of it.
And it was not a good car.
And it wasn't at all.
No, like literally everything started pouring out of it. They thought it was going to catch fire.
That, again, and now, as a guy...
That was her first match.
That was her first match?
She did 2 more after that.
Amazing. And she won the tournament.
She won a tournament.
You know what? Hell yeah, dude.
Mickey Knuckles.
Dude, I followed her right away. I'm dead serious. And it's weird because like it got to a point where like even with like when I used to watch like female MMA, I had this point, and like I don't know if it's growth or me just becoming more of a dirtbag. I couldn't watch female MMA for the longest time because I was like, I don't want to watch these women beat each other up. I don't want to watch that happen. And now sometimes I see women post-match. I'm like, baby. I see Tay Starling with her eye falling out of her head. I'm like, God damn, girl, you are fucking everything I need right now.
I didn't think you're like misogyny or progressive.
Yeah, I'm like, no, that's what I want. No, she's doing what she wants. She's in control. I'm all for it.
She chose this.
And that's when like you started following Mickey Knuckles. I'm like, man, I was like, you know what? She's not for me, but damn.
Yeah.
Maybe for me. Like you're learning more stuff about her. Like, I didn't think I'd ever be into that.
This is...
How'd you meet your wife? Well, it was crazy. She got nailed to a mat, right? Picked up, put in a car, set on fire, and then all mat.
3 dudes just pummeled her with light tubes.
Yeah, dude, they threw her out of her helicopter. You ever like onto another helicopter? Splattered all over the place. And that's like, again, I think one thing that needs, like I said, it's going to take one guy or one girl to be okay with a spot being done.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, now we gotta go there.
Yeah.
We've got to get harder. Like I think
someone does a backflip, now we get a double backflip.
Exactly.
Backflip.
So it's like one person, and I'm saying within, what is it, 2024? June 2025, I'm calling it. Somebody gets shot in the leg with a gun. Shot in the leg.
We gotta look up if that hasn't happened already.
I with a gun, not like a fucking nail gun, not a staple gun. I'm saying like a real pistol. Someone gets shot right in the leg.
I know a promotion that would probably do it.
And I guarantee. Go on.
Well, did you ever see the video of Nick Gage versus Schlack when Gage tries to shank him in the start of the match? Just comes up and starts stabbing him, and the guy he was stabbing had taped magazines to his body because he knew the guy would stab him.
It's amazing, and that's the thing too. Is like when you get so like how long have you been wrestling?
Like a year.
Now
barely like it's called a year.
How great is it?
It's the best.
It's the best fucking thing in the world.
The feeling of having after like my first match, I'm like, oh my god,
it is wild. Like, cause I don't ever go as hard as you guys go. I do like fucking like comedic wrestling, like a fucking.
I don't go that hard.
I think you do a great job.
Oh, thank you.
I think you do a great job. You're taking bumps on like real mats. I'm in like a thing that's basically a bed for the most part, and I'm trying to sell it as hard as I can, and I try to go over the top because like the wrestling promotion I'm in, it's called Awful. It's basically all the pageantry of 80s wrestling with none of the fucking talent. So like
none of the violence.
Most of the people are not the greatest wrestlers. I'll give it to them, but they do put on a show.
Yeah.
So like when I'm wrestling somebody who's like 46 years old, and they're like, yo, just don't make me run. You're like, all right, we'll try and work around what you can do. So I have to like a lot of the times I'll make like I try to make the wrestling matches I have be like guar shows. For the most part.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So I try. It's like, yo, if you're not gonna be there for maybe the music, maybe you'll be there for the props. If you're not there for the props, maybe you'll be there for the music. So it's like I try to be as good at wrestling as I possibly can. And then I also try to make props that make people are very uncomfortable. So like the last match I had, I made a full womb and vulva for a lady. We had a pregnancy match. And the first one was a laborious thing. I took a gently used fleshlight I had and stuffed a reborn doll inside of it, and then pumped a bunch of corn syrup and salsa in it to simulate afterbirth. Oh. And then I took very thick yarn to make an umbilicus and tied that to the other end. And then I wrestled a pregnant lady, and then she gave birth in the ring. And then I strangled her with her own umbilical cord.
Did you like punch her in the stomach?
Oh, dude, I elbow drop. I gave her the people's elbow. Dude, I wanted that to happen so hard. But then after the baby was delivered, I took the baby.
I just like refer to it as being delivered.
I also said umbilicus. I'm using the most.
Using really medical terms.
I'm just trying to be as,
in character, folks.
as legit as I possibly can. So I took the baby, and then like everyone was screaming, and then I frog splashed a newborn baby in the middle of the ring. And I'm also pushing for a child casket match to happen at one point in time. I would love to wrestle a child and put them 6 feet under. I think that would be the best.
I mean, there's a midget wrestling underneath.
I know. Have you ever see any midget wrestling?
Went and watched it.
Oh, how was your midget wrestling? Because I recently saw some midget wrestling.
It was fine.
Yeah,
it was fun. I mean, we were fucked up. We were just like, they even gave us.
Were you laughing at them like the animatronics?
I've been laughing at fucking everything.
They're trying to put on a real show.
Hey,
You're just giggling at these
I was laughing. I was booing the heel. I was fine. I was good.
Good.
I was doing things right. I was also drinking. They also gave us. Apparently, the guy like runs the place, like loves all the comics stuff like that. So he gave us a bunch of beers, but he gave us like midget Coronas. So we're just drinking tiny bottles of Corona.
Do you think that's how
me and Vega were just sitting there?
Do you think that's how midgets all do drugs? They just have mini
tiny
versions
ones
of all,
like a little syringe,
like little collectibles, like just like ooh my little heroin. It's like a very small overdose.
They got it. The big needle go right through.
Yeah, all the way out the other fucking side. How'd he die? Baby Klonopin. He took a fucking child-sized dose and he lost it, dude. I think midget wrestling again. I have no problem with I think all wrestling's great. However, midget wrestling again, I think is a thing that I think has to grow on me.
Yeah, for sure.
Because when I watch a dude throw another dude off of a building onto like a bunch of pallets, I'm like, yo, dude, those guys know what they're doing. I'm like, I know those guys are all, they're experts.
These guys know it.
Even though they're not. They're just guys.
Those are the least expert guys.
Exactly.
Those are guys like, oh, we're not good at wrestling. All right, jump off shit.
You got it. You know what? It's called playing to your strengths.
100%.
It's called like, what can you do?
Like, I'm a retard. That's what I'm doing.
I can get hit by a car pretty good. And I'm the champ, dude. Nobody gets hit by a car like me. But when you see midgets wrestling and you see them, like, again, you're looking at someone's, physical. Would you call dwarfism a disability? I wouldn't call it a disability. I think it's.
I don't know. If we get
the other word I was going to use was abnormality, but that sounds way more. I was going to say like they're abnormality. I was like, no, they're normal people.
Yeah.
But when there was one midget wrestling I went to, the one dude was wrestling another. So this guy, something Gomez, I can't remember. He was supposed to be like
Selena. I don't know.
Selena Gomez. This midget wrestling had everything, dude. It was very progressive midget wrestling. This dude came out like Selena Gomez. But the guy, I think it was like Gomez Adams. He was like, the Adams family. Yeah. And then, and this guy was like, honestly, he was shaped like a beach ball. Like, no joke. It looked like Kirby.
Oh wait, I do know that guy
Yes.
because like I followed the one you went to. I follow, and they had the Discovery Channel shit.
So that guy, he's shaped very odd.
Yeah,
it's like, damn, dude, you are a legitimate sphere, like a sphere of a man. And he wrestled another guy who's called Mighty Mario or Micro Mario.
Micro Mario.
Who's even
He's Micro Metal Mario.
Yes, that's right.
What? Why?
Well, the metal is tinfoil. It's not like a strong metal. It's very pliable, dude. So Gomez Adams is like, he's about this tall.
Yeah.
The Micro Metal Mario can fit inside this guy. And watching them wrestle, it wasn't like, oh man, this is amazing.
Yeah.
It's like watching kids do a stunt. You're like, okay, guys, don't get. And if Gomez had fallen on him, that would be the end of that dude. It's like the amount of trust you have to have, and which I do respect. Yeah. But I also am like, imagine how many days would be ruined for everyone there at that match. There was at least 500 people at this fucking event.
Yeah.
And if they went there and watched a fat midget dressed as Gomez Adams fall on an even smaller black midget dressed like Mario and kill him, they would never be able to live the rest of their lives. They would constantly be talking about that forever. Every child that was there was like, I watched a man die in the ring. How was it, boxing, MMA? No, it was a black midget the size of an ottoman getting crushed by another midget the size of a little bit bigger ottoman. It was out of control.
20 years later, he's at a bar. He's like, let me tell you about the day my innocence died.
Oh, what are you guys going through? It's like, you know what it's like? It's like I started talking about 9/11. He's like, you want to hear something real fucked up?
That I'll never forget.
They have to put a memorial there. They'll never forget it. And it's like, you're watching with like bated breath for like the worst accident you could ever see.
Yep.
And again, I don't want anything bad to happen to these dudes, but you are like, yo, something bad better happen to these dudes. I think as a society, we love Carnage.
No,
we
absolutely.
Love it. But I also think a lot of the stuff, even when we start like, blowing each other, we're like, no, dude, it's the passion of the sport. It's the passion of the sport. I've never watched a NASCAR race for the passion of the cars. No. I've watched it because I'm like, yo, one of these guys is gonna crash. Speedboat racing, always like, yo, when is this gonna?
Yeah, that's not it. That's when.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
But then again, also, I'm calling it June 2026. Speedboat deathmatch racing is definitely gonna happen. We are gonna watch, a suplex at 200 miles an hour on the water, and that guy's gonna. And you know what? Anybody, I think, who dies in the ring, with the exception of a few, everyone was very, Speaking of, dude, I'll never forget when Owen Hart died. That was my 9/11 as a child.
I'm sure.
You're just like, damn, dude, these people can really die in the ring. But it sucks because he didn't die in a cool way in the ring. He died descending. He didn't. The match didn't even start.
No.
But I think
Oh, fuck.
No. Go for it.
He definitely lost.
He was counted out, dude. I think, like, when you see a person in the ring, if they like did a power move to somebody and killed them, I think, as much as that is a tragedy, that's the way that person would want to go. Like, I don't think like wrestlers get into like being in pro wrestling thinking like, you know what, man, I can't wait to die an old man in my bed surrounded by my family members. It's like, no, you want to die at Hell in a Cell as Undertaker throws you off the top of the cell. Like, that's what you want.
You just hope it's like Undertaker or something like that and not New Jack throwing you off a scaffolding.
Yeah, I think with Undertaker, at least he's already there to help at the funeral.
He's the right job.
With New Jack, he throws you off of something. He's taking your car stereo or something like that. He's breaking into your house. He might rape your wife. It's something. Yo,
Oh,
dude.
you thought death was the end?
Yeah, no, he's going
I'm
back,
not done
dude.
fucking with you.
You're never gonna get it, dude. It's like one of those things where
You die, and then he dies eventually.
Oh,
Shows up in
man.
the afterlife, and you're like,
that's
oh, shit.
another thing we're gonna see. I'm calling it right now. June 2027. You're gonna see a guy kill a dude in the ring and then shoot himself in the head to take him on in hell. He's gonna.
This match isn't over
He's
yet.
like, no, I'm not letting you go.
You're not getting off that easy.
Dude, he's gonna stand in front of the fucking open grave, shoot himself in, and fall on top. I'm telling you, dude. This is how I want hardcore wrestling to go from here on out.
Oh, boy.
It's the only thing I could ever hope for.
Yeah. Actually, so the one over here, the first match was a full-size dude named Songbird who fought a lady midget.
Awesome.
And then he was great. He was such a dickhead and a piece of shit. Great heel. But the next match was like two lucha wrestlers, and one of I can't remember the other one's name, but the one of them's name was La Parquita.
Love it. Love it. So with lucha, with midget lucha match, which also sounds like something you would describe to a cop on hallucinogens. It's like, where is the midget lucha match? Dude? I'm telling you. Where are you going? I gotta see that. I know you're thinking, officer, it's not what you think. It was a midget lucha match. So why don't you let me go and thank you for your service?
Sir, walk this line.
No. And you start flipping. You start fucking like you wouldn't believe what I saw. Seeing a midget lucha match is like saying you saw a UFO.
Yeah.
If you saw, you're like, nobody fuck. Where's the evidence?
Yeah,
dude?
show me one.
Yeah,
You can't.
Yeah, no, you can't. It's like there's so much blue red tape. Like nobody knows. But a midget lucha match, that just also, again, seems like such high risk shit for midgets.
The ring's smaller.
I know it's small. I know.
Actually, I think the rope should be lower.
Oh, they had standard height rope?
Rough. I mean, I didn't get in there to notice, but yeah, they were still below it.
All right, remember how
Like if the top rope was at my shoulder blades, it should be at their shoulder blades.
that's how it was with the midget wrestling I was with. They made everything. They made
Really?
yeah, dude. It looked like
Maybe
everybody
they couldn't
was.
because one guy was normal sized.
Yeah, they had to accommodate. But you know what? They should have just brought him into their house.
Yeah. He goes hit the ropes, he trips
He
over
trips
him.
over, falls back. It's like a midget in a normal sized wrestling ring. I guess I do take back dying valiantly in the ring.
But it was a small ring, like normal sized ropes.
That sounds fucking terrible. That sounds like the worst thing. That sounds like an MC Escher drawing. I don't want to fucking see that at all. I don't want to look at an object and be like, how is this going to fucking work out? Midget lucha wrestling, I think, again, is a thing that I would want to see, but I would also be like, again, I feel like I want to get in, like, stop it. Like with two dogs going at it, like, you need to knock that off.
They also let a guy from the audience be the ref.
Again, crazy as shit. Why would you let a drunk man around midgets at any point in time?
And he just was like standing there, and like they kept like going to do spots towards him, and I'm just like, get the fuck out of the way.
He was blocking.
I
all
was
of
like,
that way.
you're a bad ref. Don't volunteer if you don't
Now,
know.
when they went down for a 3 count, did he do midget little
Yeah, he's
stabs?
like,
No,
nah.
1, 2, 3. And when they were out of the ring, it was like 1.
Just doing
No.
he's just doing Toad voice.
I think another thing that I'd always wanted to see was, it's not that I wanted to see. I knew there was guys who wanted to do a midget match. They wanted to do a Willy Wonka themed. And I think that's just too on the nose.
That's never been done?
No, it has been done. But if I'm going to see a Willy Wonka midget match, it's got to be a Willy Wonka death midget. I don't do midgets do death wrestling, like death match, like hard, like.
Oh
real?
shit! I've actually never seen.
Exactly. We're on. Like this is what I'm talking about. You could.
That's next.
You know what? 2028. I'm telling you, you will see a midget shot out of a cannon into a brick wall. Dude, midget splat match? Come on. But like I don't know if I'd be able to watch a midget get stabbed in the head with skewers. They
got a big head.
It's
They can fit a lot of skewers in there.
can't miss that target at all. I would be worried. Again, I don't want to be like, oh no, midgets. But I do last night I felt like a dick cuz I pointed them out, and I hate doing that.
Yeah.
Like they were walking and I was with my girlfriend. I was like, hey. And the guy looked right at me. And he knew I was pointing at him, but then I did this. I tried to make it. I was like, no, dude. Yo, hang loose. You're the coolest dude in the world. I don't know who the fuck
just ran up, kicked you in the shin.
Yeah, I would take a shin kick from a midget.
Yeah.
I think midgets get a pass with assault.
Yeah.
They have to.
Yeah.
You can't send a midget.
What are you going to report it? Officer.
Yeah.
Look, after the Midget Lucha Libre, one of them ran up to me.
I'm telling you right now, he was very small, had long hair, was wearing a mask, looked like Rey Mysterio Jr., and he stabbed me in the knee. I don't think, again, now with midget stabbing you in the knee, is that attempted murder? Because everything above the waist is attempted murder. If a midget stabs you, how much time could they really get in prison?
Wait, is that true?
So what I've heard, again, I'm going off of movies I've seen. I don't know if
yeah, all right, that's a good.
Look, I'm
there's
going
no way
off
that's
of
true.
movies I've seen, especially the Midnight Express.
Yeah.
So apparently in Turkish prison in the 1970s, if you stab someone,
that holds in this fucking time
I'm just
period,
saying,
though, yeah.
I don't know. I'm not 100% on this, but if you stab someone in the ass in like or below the waist, it's not attempted murder because it's near no vital organs. I think midgets
femoral artery.
Again, vital is
not a vital organ, but you fucking need it.
You could possibly hit that if you were a midget, but a midget doesn't know a big man's anatomy. They're just
studying a chart.
They don't. How big? They're not going to be able to reach it. It's all the way up.
He's got a little way. He's got a little overhead projector
and a little pointer.
Yeah,
this is where we're going, man.
Hit them here. It's the only spot we can reach.
I've also thought about.
He's just stabbing you with like those little pokers that you use for corn.
The ear holders.
Yeah. Just running up and stabbing it to you.
I wouldn't even be mad.
Oh, what?
Again, so if I died by an ear corn cob holder going into my femoral artery, I would be like, no tears at my funeral. No tears ever again.
Actually, this is why I don't know why this is from my brain. Did you ever see that movie Walking Tall that The Rock was in?
No, I did not see the remake of that. I didn't see that one.
There's a scene. So his best friend's played by Johnny Knoxville, and he's like, "Go protect my parents." And Johnny Knoxville gets into like the worst fist fight with a guy, and he stabs him. And the guy comes back like a little bit later. And he's like, "You stabbed me with a potato peeler." He stabbed him with a metal potato peeler.
Where?
In the leg, I think. I don't even remember. I just remember the guy like he thinks they've beaten everyone. He walks back into the seat. He's like, "You stabbed me with a potato peeler."
I think now, have potato peelers been used in deathmatch wrestling? Like just skin, like peelers.
I've seen a lot of cheese graters.
Cheese graters, again, standard, classic. I'm saying if someone took someone's finger.
Oh fuck! Okay, that's bad.
Come on, that's what you got you?
Yeah, I don't like that.
We now know what should have been in the haunted house for you to have a reaction. Is just someone
because like
skinning a finger.
Yeah,
that's
no
good.
Me.
You know what?
I just got degloving. That kind of shit bothers me.
Ooh, ring evulsions, stuff like that.
That shit fucks me up. I broke like a broken leg. Like, watch someone break their leg or arm. That fucks me up. I could watch someone be beheaded and I'm fine.
So that's what's so crazy about decapitation. If I can be honest here, I would rather watch a man have his head cut off of his body than watch one person's elbow get dislocated.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no. I think it's because
you're like, oh, I'm dead. It doesn't matter. I don't know what that feels like, kind of thing.
It's also if that happens, I think it's because I have a very good chance in my life to see someone's elbow dislocated.
Yeah, fair.
And I'd be like, oh no, I don't. When am I going to run into watching a guy get beheaded?
Yeah.
You know, would you
2029?
It's going to be the best death match, guillotine match. Come on.
It's like some death match wrestler goes to jail. And like he gets a death sentence for like murder or something like that. He's like, instead of lethal injection, let's put on a show.
I couldn't agree more. And this is where I've also been talking about bringing back public executions, big time.
But make it fun.
But make it a fucking fun thing. And the thing about public executions is, would you go if there was a public execution? And let's just say the guy who's being executed or anybody who's being executed. They were, a child murderer, and they killed like 6 kids, and it's like they admitted to it. There's a whole.
There's like literally video evidence of them doing
TikTok.
There's no chance they're innocent.
It's complete and total, open and shut.
Yeah.
Would you go watch that person be put to death?
Maybe. I honestly, part of me depends on what's the method.
Oh, the method.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guillotine. Yeah.
You'd watch a guillotine?
I think so.
You'd watch someone.
It's a big fucking thing.
It is a sick machine.
Yeah.
It is a marvel of human ingenuity. Just go
Except the problem is the guillotine was taking all those executioner jobs. It's like Uber versus taxi. Like, I have an axe. I can do it.
Man.
We got a machine, man. Automation.
Could you imagine the first executioner be like, what the fuck is this? Wait a minute, what?
Automation, man. It's taking a job.
What's wrong with this? So it's like I went down there to kill the guy. You know what I'm talking about. And then,
back in my day, we did it with our own hands and axe. Now all these new executioners just pulling a lever.
Anybody can do this.
There's no art in it.
My mother could do this. Did you ever hear about tipping the executioner? You know about that?
No.
So in medieval times, when people were sentenced to death by beheading, and usually it was with a broad axe, what they would do is they would tip the executioner beforehand, and the reason they would is because they would make sure that the blade was sharp
enough to get through in one shot.
In one shot. Because if they wouldn't, they would hack
away
at their head in front of one. It is wild that your family shows up.
Please, that is
crazy. Being like, hey, I know he was a jerk and all, but please just. If you could, for me, I got the kids here.
Yeah.
I got the kids here. They don't want to see his head. His head beat off of his body.
Like, which execution do you get? You're like, oh, please get the Barry Bonds.
Yeah, you gotta have the guy with the huge arms.
I got it.
It's my first day. I would actually request a midget executioner. I'd be like, yo, take as many as you want.
Tiny axe.
A tiny little. I want a fucking penknife. Just over and over and over until I'm fucking.
The dude who cut his arm off was trapped in the rocks.
Yes. I want my execution to take 127 hours.
And star James Franco.
That would. There you go. Celebrity executioner.
Oh,
dude, come on. Yeah. We have so much shit going on. Everyone's so overstimulated with crap. I don't want to see Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
I want to see Beheading with the Stars, dude. I want to see, Carl Winslow going up like, I guess we got to put this guy in a gas chamber now. It's like, that would be sick. And we're right there.
We're not far off.
The world's crumbling around us, dude. I don't know if you've watched the news. I watch the news every day just to make myself feel better about myself. It's getting wild out there. Yep. And it's like, I kind of am waiting for people to be like, you know what? We can just kind of put whatever we want on TV.
Yeah.
Just do it. Because our streaming apps suck now.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
They're the worst. And I'm tired of the ads. We get. If there was one ad that was like, this Sunday, Sunday. It's like,
Do you miss Conan? Well, he's back.
He's back, and he's cutting off heads.
Doing little dances and shit.
That would be sick.
Every time, if celebrity, you do the Celebrity Millionaire or Celebrity Dancing with the Stars, but with each one they get voted off, they have to go on to the executioner show.
They have to go
and become
on
an executioner.
That would level the playing field.
Yeah.
And you'd see a lot more humbled celebrities.
Yeah. Take this life.
Just like taking a guy's head off, and the next time they get on TV, like, hey,
I was a piece of shit.
So I can't get this image out of my head. It's like, no, you can't. I just think that would be great because, a lot of celebrities, again, I don't know their whole life, but I think some of these guys and gals get a little too cushy with their lives.
Yeah.
They need to be shocked back to, borderline mental retardation. To level the playing field, you have millions and millions of dollars. Yep. You need to see. I do think that once you reach a certain level of wealth, you should have to do something pretty fucking terrible.
They probably did to get wealth.
I understand. No, but not for their benefit. Not for their benefit. They have to watch something real bad or something they didn't want to do or see. They have to put their head inside of a whole elephant's butthole for at least a minute. Not enough to kill them.
It's got to be based off of their wealth. It's like, you have $100 million. All right, 20 seconds.
20 seconds. Oh man, no, dude, they got to spin a wheel. They have to spin a wheel.
I mean, the more rich, the more fucked up shit you got to do.
What do you think is the most fucked up thing a rich person could do just to humble them, besides putting their head inside of an elephant's asshole for up to 20 seconds?
I don't know. I think it's mostly things I saw in Jackass.
Sure, I will give you that. Is Jackass would be a very good equalizer for most people. I think it would be great to know that some celebrities had to have a car inserted into their butthole and just walk around with it for a full day.
Yeah,
that would be nice. The X-ray. Just just a humiliation thing. So like, yes, I am a billionaire.
Yeah,
I am a billionaire, but I also did eat my own shit. You'd be like, whoa. It's like, you'd be like, Elon Musk, he's sending people to space. He's out of control. You know, he did eat his own turds.
That's your guy?
Elon Musk?
No, I'm saying that to be like, just be like, you're like Elon? He eats shit.
Just knowing that every celebrity in the future, they're like, yo, they are the hottest celeb in the world. But just to let you know that, like, Emma Stone did eat her own poop just one time. You'd be like, ooh.
Just look at her differently every time.
You look at her a little cockeyed, be like, oh, I knew that you did that.
Make her have a death match.
Celebrity death. Well, they did that.
No, but not a clay one, an actual one.
They did that. It was claymation. It was not a very popular show. I did enjoy it, though.
I loved it.
Yes, it was a great show. But celebrity death match, I think, would be a cool thing to see. Just one celebrity that would be what besides David Arquette.
He wasn't that into it. He almost got.
He did almost die. But you can't kill David Arquette.
Yeah,
you can't kill him.
So the documentary.
But I think if one celebrity was just like, you know what, I'm dropping Hollywood, and I'm definitely going to get in the ring, and I'm definitely all about pro deathmatch wrestling. It would be so refreshing to find out it was like DJ Qualls from Road Trip, the skinny guy. Like one guy who you didn't think was going to be in it at all. It's like, what is this guy doing? It's like, I'm taking the Carnage Cup this year, you fucking fags. And you're like, no, jeez. It's like he's the worst guy in the world.
Yeah, he just breaks in half.
Just breaks it.
He's actually gay.
DJ Qualls?
Yeah.
Who else is gay? Who else do you know is gay, dude? Spill the tea. Spill the gay tea, please.
But then the problem is, like, him I specifically know. But there's so many gays. My ex always was like, oh, so-and-so is gay. I'm like, you say that about fucking everyone.
Yeah, straight up.
I think everyone is, sure, everyone's, especially everyone in Hollywood. Yeah, sure, they're
probably a little gay. Yeah, they probably done some gay stuff.
Shit.
But DJ Qualls is gay.
Yeah.
Man.
He's like a skinny guy, and I think he married a dude who looks like me.
Tails old time, dude.
Just walking around looking like the number 10.
You know, it's like when you see gay couple, actually when I see any couple that looks kind of mismatched, my brain does like, yo, how does that work? How does that work? And I think that more times than I should.
Yeah.
It's more uncomfortable.
I see the opposite. When I see like two big fat gay guys together, I'm like, how the fuck does that work?
That's also another thing. How does that work? I don't know how. I've had sex with bigger women, and it's been a little bit of a struggle sometimes, but we've always made it work. Yeah. I don't know. I remember, what was it on my 600-pound life? The two huge sisters. The one who said she might be pregnant. And I was like, how do you, might is a crazy thing to say. And I wonder, I'm like, how does one go about possibly impregnating someone like that? There's got to be a whole schematic.
you need tools.
There's got to be a map. Yeah. And because I've watched weird, and I wouldn't even say it's porn, but you can find it. You can look up people who have newly been like paralyzed from the waist down or neck down. They do give them tips and tricks on how to have sex, and it is. I
feel like I give tips to other people.
It actually is a very. It's
not
one of the,
paralyzed.
It's one of those things where you're like, wow, I can't believe we made an effort to do this, and then.
We might make it as a society.
It makes your heart so full. You're like, I just watched a guy get his head crushed by an elephant, and now I'm watching people learn how to have sex with their husbands and wives who can't walk anymore. We're fucking making it. We're the best society in the world. Dude, it's like I put my hand over my heart. I stand up for that, dude. You can say whatever you want about
stand up next to you because you can't stand at all.
I will lay down. Yeah, dude. Will you stand up for the people who can't, dude? You have to stand up for them, even if you are then going to have sex. Did you ever see that movie with Helen Hunt where she's the sex surrogate and she has sex with the dude who is I think he's paralyzed from the neck down, and the whole movie is about this guy who basically he goes to church and he finds out that he's never going to be able to like have a real relationship with somebody, and he's been that way most of his life, and he's like, I never had sex, and then he hires Helen Hunt to be the sex surrogate, and the weirdest jacking off I've ever done in my entire life.
Is that what the movie's called? Sex surrogate? No.
No, I can't remember what it's called. It's like basically just again, you're like watching, you're like, wow, this is really a beautiful, touching thing. But then watching a guy kind of not move while Helen Hunt achieves orgasm on top of him is an unnerving thing.
You're like, that was weird. Yeah, one more time.
But it is great that movie exists because this kind of ties in with the public execution thing.
All right.
It's going there. Somebody took their future wife on a first date to that movie. And they will have that memory forever of watching Helen Hunt have sex with a quadriplegic. And at one point in time being so moved that they grab one another's hand while Helen Hunt comes on a quadriplegic man's penis. Knowing that they're going to be able to look back, it's like, when did you know she was the one? When she squeezed my hand as Helen Hunt's vulva wall squeezed all over a man's penis. But it's wild to know that somebody's great-grandparents met at a public execution. It's a historical fact. There's no way to get around it. It's got to be. Somebody went like, hey, did you hear what they're doing? They're hanging this guy. It's like, I don't want to go to that. And it's like, well, who's going? Well, Mary's going to go. It's like, you walk up and it's like, oh, I can't believe they're doing that, right?
It's just like, yeah, he was like, oh, this is terrible. She's like, I like it. Oh, me too.
No, dude, this is the best place to be. Love the shit. He gets too involved. He's throwing shit at the guy. It's like, I love it, dude. I love a good public execution. Yeah, I think. Would I go? Yes.
Yeah.
Would I sell T-shirts? Definitely. Would I sell T-shirts at a public execution? I think you'd have to. Merch at a public execution has got to be the way you make your money back.
Yeah, but I would sell those prop axes that stick in that.
You know, it would be great. He was getting his head stepped on by an elephant, and you're selling the googly eyes coming out. And they have the date on him. Holy shit. Has it been an hour? I don't know if I can go any longer. This has been the End Podcast with Ryder Shader. Peter, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Being on the show. You can check out the End Podcast. Make sure you call the hotline 833-443-5300. We'll address any comment, question, concern you have on the show. Thank you so much. Thank you, Skagfest. This has been amazing. Woo. Thank you. We will see you next time.
Later.